Hear Arlene talking?
Yes, I can. Sure can.
The website and register there, because registration is expensive. It's about $500 because truly I attended the one in Las Vegas. And I will not tell you the rest of the story because it stays in.
All right. Now, can you share your screen? Are you going to be using a PowerPoint?
Yes, I am.
Go ahead and share your screen so I can put that up on the live screen.
All right.
Conference. So make sure that
Remember to click on that green box with the arrow out, and that shares.
Right.
Will be really good. You can pack a van full of teachers and go in.
It says select a window to show in the
You
video.
just select a window. You can say show whole screen.
And
Full screen. Okay.
Yeah.
the call for proposal has already expired.
Got it.
We'll wait for the next one because it's hard to get. the
Okay, so that's it.
presentation there, But they have a
You're now
guide
sharing
for
your screen,
proposals.
and so now we see what you see.
Okay, very good.
As soon as you open up your program and start using it, so go ahead and open up your PowerPoint.
All right.
Really, really great too. And I get to represent the Florida SSTESOL. There's only.
Okay, James, how's that?
And can I hear your voice?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You may need to speak up though.
Okay, how about like that? Is that better?
For advocacy and policy.
It's about as good as we're going to get, unfortunately.
So
Okay,
as a
I
TESOL
will project.
Indiana 10, and it is in Alexandria, Virginia. And you get updated on the policies and
James,
advocacy.
Yes.
That is.
people see only what I see on my screen.
That is
They don't
correct.
see me unless I see.
Do not see you. That is correct.
With the
Okay.
If you want them to see you, stop sending your screen.
and talk
Yeah,
about-
no. They don't have to see me at all. I
Okay.
think that's just fine. I just want to know what they can see. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Yep, we're ready.
So, any information, I will be in the registration place. Any information that you have questions about those?
Oh, I don't have any. I just
All
help. I'm
right,
helping
we're
with the
ready
check.
for Chane.
Shane, are you there?
I am here, James.
Chane, how are you?
I am fine. Is that Arlene, it sounds like?
Darlene, how are you? It's
I'm great. How are you today?
Chane.
Yes, thank you for having me remotely. I apologize to everyone that I cannot be there. It's unfortunate that this overlaps a very important annual spring forum about entitlement grants. It's called FAST-FEPA, for those who are familiar, Florida Association of State and Federal Education Program Administrators. And I am presenting in four of those sessions.
Remember
So
to speak up, Shane.
Oh, okay. Thank you, James. I am presenting about four of the sessions at this other conference, and I'm sorry that I can't be there, but I would like to welcome everyone. Good morning. My name is, can you hear me, James?
I'll be back in 1 second. I'm trying to get another plug to see if I can make it louder.
Just speak up
Okay.
low, Chane.
Say again, Arlene?
That is Arlene, and if you would just speak up a little bit, because we have a room full of people.
Okay, yes. So again, good morning, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to the session for English Language Learner Updates 2017. My name is Chane Eplin. I am the Bureau Chief for Student Achievement through Language Acquisition with the Florida Department of Education. And I want to give a special shout out to Pam and Angel from Polk that I think are there. Good morning, and good morning to everyone. Thank you for having me today, and I'm going to go through the presentation. Okay. First thing I would like to talk about is the state strategic plan, and that is often referred to as the 2020 plan. There's an overview slide you should be looking at right now. 4 goals: highest student achievement, seamless articulation, skilled workforce, and quality, efficient services. The one that I'm going to focus on today the most is goal number 1 on highest student achievement. I think that everyone can review this PowerPoint later, so I'm going to move fairly quickly. There are 7 metrics, and there's STEM focus for goal number 1. My particular favorite, you can see student achievement all over this, but look at number 3, closing the achievement gap. I'm very proud of our state for making that one of our goals, and that does affect our English language learners. There are many highlights on this next slide. I just want to say that we have done a great job in many areas in Florida. Doesn't mean that we cannot do better, but there is quite a bit of growth, and you can look at this at a later time. But we have a lot to be proud of, and we are going to continue that great work. Also with our college system as well, many things. You can look at this later. For the goals, I wanted to show you a couple of the metrics. Here we see a metric for ELA, math, science, and social studies to go up 6 percentage points by 2020. You can see the bar graph there. Metric 2 is growth in English language arts and math, 7 percentage point increase by 2020. This is my favorite slide, reducing the achievement gaps by 1/3 by 1920. And take a look at that subgroup, English language learners and non-English language learners. So I'm very excited about that. And that is, in fact, yes, in every subject area. Notice in ELA, math, science, and social studies. The next slide has to do with graduation rate, increasing that, and acceleration as well. And now I'm going to jump into the English language learners data at this point. But I just want everybody to understand the goal of the state, and that we are doing well doesn't mean we're perfect. We are working on it, working on the work to improve and to help all students in Florida reach college and career readiness, graduate from high school, obtain gainful employment. We are very proud of our work, and we are always pushing upward in Florida.
Chane, might I interrupt you for a minute and ask
sure.
you if you're going to share this PowerPoint presentation with Sunshine TESOL so we don't have to scramble for taking notes while you're presenting?
Absolutely. Yes, Arlene.
Wonderful. Thank you. And James said that we can post this on our website.
Wonderful.
Very
good. You're welcome. You're welcome. Florida English language learners data. Notice we have quite an increase in this slide. You'll see from last year to this year. Also, our languages, again, our predominant is Spanish. However, we do have quite a few Haitian Creole speakers. You can see the breakdown. The time in the program is of particular interest to us because there's research that suggests that accelerating English language learners' language acquisition will absolutely accelerate their academic achievement. And so we are making this a particular focus. I'll talk more about that later. But notice that most of our English learners are in the program up to no more than 3 years. So we are working on this to see how we can support our work, our teachers, our districts, our leaders to accelerate the English as well as master the grade level content and the challenging
I'm sorry, guys.
every
This is,
content area.
everything I can do to get to failure.
James, can you hear me? Can everybody hear me?
Hopefully this won't be too much feedback.
All right, I'm going to go ahead. James, would you like me to continue?
Go ahead and talk.
All right, can you hear me now? How about that?
You hear me?
Can you hear me now? I'm going to go ahead and continue if that's okay, James.
Go for it.
All right, thank you, sir. So I talked about the time in the program. The next thing I would like to give an update on is the English Language Development Standards. They were adopted by Florida June of 2014, and this made Florida a partner with WIDA, and we're a full consortium member in the WIDA consortium. These ELD standards, as we often refer to them, correlate with our academic standards to prepare our English language learners for college and career readiness. There are 5 standards from WIDA. You can look these up if you'd like at another time, but briefly, there's a social and instructional language standard, a language of language arts standard, a language of math standard, a language of science standard, and a language of social studies standard. Academic language is the glue, you could say, that we think about when we're providing instruction to our English language learners in every area. Academic language is the language of textbooks, of classrooms, of tests. It is different. I think we all know this, but it is different in its structure and vocabulary from everyday language. Also, many students who speak English have trouble comprehending the academic language that is used in high school and college classrooms. And I think we all know this, but low academic language skills have been shown to be associated with low academic performance in a variety of educational settings. For the integration of language and content, that's what we need for academic success for English language learners. Our English learners are in our classes right now, and they need that integration of language, and we need rigorous instruction that integrates language and content. We also need to increase student academic achievement in English and the content areas, focusing on quality. We need to be more critical of the content we put in front of students. Does the content match the standard? Also, we need to help the students manage the challenge, give them the tools and skills to be academically successful. If this lesson is helping, let's replicate it. If it's not, let's change it. We need to identify any barriers, base our lessons on needs, improve our core instruction. This can be done. It's not something that is easy. However, there's research to support that English language learners absolutely master, as all students, the challenging content standards at grade level when we do this. CPOMS is a powerful resource. I would like to mention that the ELD standards have been integrated into all course descriptions, and you can look at that. I'm basically showing you now a little bit about CPOMS. We recommend this because these materials have been vetted by the state. So anything you find on CPOMS is absolutely for Florida educators. Here's a screenshot of the main screen, and here's a screenshot of each of the English language development standards. If we pick a course, let's say we were to pick a math course, you find this section right here, a special notes section on how teachers are required to provide listening, speaking, reading, and writing instruction that allows English language learners to communicate information, ideas, and concepts for academic success in the content area. And of course, in this case, it's math, because this is a math course. And then you can read the rest of this. There is a link to a supporting document that delineates performance definitions and descriptors. And if you click on that, you see right here what that looks like. And there are 5 levels delineated. And right here, you're looking at entering and emerging, what a student can do with language at those levels. So a teacher could look at the results from the Access for ELS assessment, and they would get an idea of what that student can do with language to show what they know of the content that teacher is teaching. Here are the course standards. For documentation in lesson plans, we recommend that teachers include the appropriate ELD standard as part of the learning objectives, and then indicate your instructional strategies to meet those objectives. And you can see just an example here. However, we recommend a more detailed use of strategies and vocabulary assistance based on that English learner's individual English language proficiency level. And remember, it's not the same for listening or speaking or reading or writing. It can be very different. Additional resources, I would like to mention the English Language Arts Formative Assessment System. And you can, again, I'll give this PowerPoint to Sunshine State TESOL. You can look this up later, but if you click on these links, we believe in formative assessment very strongly. It has been known to be a powerful tool. Of course, in the ESOL world, we've called this for many years frequent comprehension checks. I think everybody can relate to that, but we need to make sure our students understand what they're learning at the time we are providing that, and if not, we need to adjust immediately. And you can click on, this is just showing you, we went into a lesson here, and I just want you to see, in this case, a lesson. I think it's a grade 2. Here it is. Yeah. And so look, there are English language learner considerations embedded in the LFAS system. It's available to all teachers in Florida with a single sign-on, Florida single sign-on. Next thing I'd like to mention to everyone is the EdStats tool. This is a powerful tool that allows interactive reporting. You can generate reports for state, district, schools, for different areas. It also allows export into Excel. It is a very powerful tool, and you can generate reports in a variety of formats. I just want to show you one real quick. So we're going to come out here to the main screen. It logs out very quickly, as you can see here. I was on earlier, but let me show you something. I'm going to click here. Here it is. This is what is commonly called EdStats. Notice all that is available. Of course, my focus is pre-K through 12. Take a look at this. You have accountability reports, but you also have interactive reports available under ELA, math, Algebra 1, geometry, science, biology, civics, U.S. history. We have enrollment, fine arts, and look at this right here, the strategic plan. I'm going to click on that, closing the achievement gap. And let's take a look. Now here we have Alachua, English Language Arts, the gap comparison, white and African American. Of course, all of you know what I'm going to choose. Let's look at the English language learners versus non. And rather than English Language Arts, why don't we look at science? Science is particularly challenging for us. So view the results. Here on the left, you can see the state has a gap of 36 percentage points. And then in this case, it's Alachua, and I apologize to anyone from Alachua. I just chose the one that was up, okay? That's not a particular reason for the choice other than the A, Alachua. You see here that the non is 59 and the English learners are 29 in science. So remember the goal that I mentioned earlier from the state strategic plan to reduce that gap by 1/3, okay? This gap right over here, by 1/3 by 2020. So I'm very proud of that, and you can look at this as you're able. I'm going to go back now to the PowerPoint. Here's the link to the EdStats tool. It's in the PowerPoint. Teacher training reminders, something that we generally do every year at Sunshine State TESOL. Just a reminder of the requirements for language arts and intensive reading teachers, the SOL endorsement, and there's an out-of-field letter requirement, documenting of strategies, and the FTE 130 may be claimed. We talk about compliance here on this slide. It's important that all of our teachers are trained to work with all of our students. So this is in here, category 2, content areas of math, science, social studies, and computer literacy, 60 hours. Category 3, 18 hours for elective courses, etc., including physical, occupational, and speech and language therapists who are assigned to an English learner schedule that is still the same. It applies to contracted individuals and therapists, as well as to those that work for a school system. And category 4, of course, is our school-based administrators and guidance counselors, 60 hours of training. Something new this year is the seal of biliteracy. This results from Florida Statutes 1003.432, and this is Florida Seal of Biliteracy Program for high school graduates. You can read the slide. Of course, this means that a student has attained a high level of competency in listening, speaking, reading, and writing in one or more foreign languages in addition to English. And this is a seal for a high school student who meets the qualifications. There are 2 levels, gold and silver, gold being the highest, silver the second highest. You'll see here on this slide that the requirements are a student earns 4 foreign language course credits in the same foreign language with a cumulative GPA of 3.0 or higher on a 4.0 scale, or the student earns it based on a test score or a portfolio option for silver, and as well also test score portfolio option for gold. So that's something new and exciting, and we are working through that right now. Another point that I wanted to make and tell everybody about is the district support implementation plan. The Division of Public Schools developed a support plan for this school year to guide our way of work to assist our districts with the common goal of improving student success. And we chose a multi-tiered system of supports based on the analysis of 2015-2016 student, school, and district data. We examined student achievement data, graduation rates, promotion rates, and discipline rates to develop office strategic plans for delivering Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 supports. Tier 1 supports are available to all schools and districts. Things like newsletters, conference calls, teacher toolkits, web-based resources, which I showed you already, CPOMs. There's also the student tutorial. We also have, as I mentioned, LFAS. There's also an MFAS for math, formative assessment. Tier 2 supports have been offered, again, based on the identified areas of improvement. For example, working with a small group of districts to improve English language learner student performance, or supporting students with disabilities in, say, middle grades math. Tier 3 is more individualized to districts or even to schools, district or school level visits, professional development, review of instructional practices in primary grades, reading, or working with a high school on Algebra 1 strategies for differentiating instruction. All of these have been prioritized based on the data analysis. Our bureau, the Student Achievement Through Language Acquisition Bureau, our tiers of support plan incorporates 4 specific goals. Number 1, to work on ELL time in the ESOL program. Number 2, to look at Title III expenditures. Title III, as you know, is our supplemental funds, entitlement funds for English language learners. Goal number 3 is improving English language learner science achievement. Goal number 4 is increasing the English language learner graduation rate and decreasing the English language learner dropout rate. I would like everyone to know that the focus has been on provision of quality services to our students, to English language learners, and we are in the process of collecting evidence of changed practice that leads to sustained improvement in each of these areas. Finally, I want to talk about the Every Student Succeeds Act. I mentioned this before, but I want to again. Annual measurable achievement objectives are gone, and accountability for English language learners is under Title I, and it will be at the school level. The ELL accountability right now is frozen. We are currently using the 2014-15 AMAO improvement plans until we hear otherwise from the federal government. The AMAO reporting requirements have been waived for 3 years. There is now, just to remind everyone, some of you may know this, but there's a 3rd required activity now for Title III, parent, family, and community engagement in the educational experience of English language learners. The first 2 required activities, which have been there since the beginning, No Child Left Behind, are professional learning for teachers of English language learners and programs that enhance the academic achievement of English language learners. Reporting, new reporting requirements. We will have to do all of these things, and you can read this. I think it's interesting that now we will have to report the last bullet here, number and percent of English language learners who have not attained English language proficiency within 5 years of their initial classification. Also, here's a resources page we are providing from the feds, as well as, or actually that's, sorry, from the state right here. And its information sometimes will lead you to the federal government on those. There's my contact information, my phone number. I want to open it up now for any questions. And I know I went very quickly, and I'm not sure how we want to do this, but I don't know. I don't even know if you could all hear me very well. I apologize if you could not hear me, but this is what I wanted to share. And I think that now I've concluded. So if you have any questions or you want me to go to different slides, I can do that. If you want to show the screen, let's see. Let me see if I can get to where I am. Let's see. Can you see me now? I don't know if you, no?
No, Chane and James stepped out of the room, so.
That's okay.
So I guess teachers who, well, our participants will just probably will ask you questions and come up.
Okay, that would be fine. I'm looking, let me see if I can, okay, well, I would welcome any questions. I hope I didn't go too fast. If you can hear me, everybody, I want you to wave at me. Ah, wonderful. Wow, I saw those hands. That's wonderful. And you cannot see me. Let's see, I wonder if I can make it look where you could see me. Can you see me now? No? I did something crazy to the screen though, didn't I?
You did something.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is interesting, is it not? Well,
That's
so much for my
great.
efforts.
Okay, do you have any questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
Chane will start with the questions.
All right, we'll just leave it like this because I just don't want to lose everybody, okay? Who knows what the next click could bring, right?
All right.
Hi, Chane. This is Gianna from Volusia.
Yes, hey, Gianna.
Hey, in regards to the district support implementation plan, is
Yes.
going to be some kind of communication with updates as to where we stand, if we've made any progress, or how that looks at this point?
Oh, great question. At this time, I don't know of any plan to do that. However, that is a decision of leadership because as you know, our Bureau has one plan and every single office in the Division of Public Schools has different, each one has different plans. So we'll have to see what that would be. At this point, I wish I had a better answer, but I don't. Okay.
Okay, thanks. And also in regards to ESSA with the parent engagement component, in the past, we've been able to provide adult literacy, but we can't really say we're providing English classes. Is that going to change?
I don't think that will change
make
because, yes, it does. But remember that any engagement
Did you hear
of
us,
the
Chane?
parents. Yes, can you hear me?
Okay.
Yes, can you hear
I think
me?
you clicked something in your end.
Oh boy, can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's the broadcast. My goodness. Anyway.
Can you hear me now?
All right, bye, Chane. Bye, Chane. But the communication for those tiers, because we did it in my district, is that it depends. The communication goes to your superintendent, and then it's channeled to the ESOL office, and then your office will accept or reject. We rejected the offer because we evaluated what they said we were doing, and we thought we can handle it on the district level. So we kind of reported to the superintendent, and the superintendent communicated with Jane Tappan, the assistant.
Can you hear me now?
Commissioner for Public Schools, that we rejected the offer. But you can still call over there, right? Yeah.
Okay, are you able to hear me now?
He's trying.
Can you hear me?
Anyway, until what time is the session? Because I can call James if, huh? I'm sorry? 10:15? We still have 15. So we have to, okay. If you would still be here, I'll go call James and do that because I think that it's important. You did talk about the accommodations for ELLs, and that's important. Yes. Is he there?
Can you hear me now? Hey, Tamara. Hi, Tamara. Can you hear me?
No, because it says right there, change. We can't. You think? But it says you should just read the whole. Oh, there it is. This is what
Hey, Tamara. Hi, Tamara. Hey, Doris. Hey, Pam. Hey.
Angel, come on.
Hey, where's Angel? Angel. Oh, I love you. I miss you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I miss you guys. I miss you, ladies.
Listen. Can't hear you. Talk.
Oh.
Can't hear you. No, here.
I'm very, very sorry.
It's okay. You can talk. I will sign for you.
We can speak a little,
Okay. I want to say.
but my sign language
Okay.
is not good.
Now you're on. You're on.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes. Can hear you.
All right, wonderful. Thank you, guys. I'm so sorry for the trouble, but I want to thank Sunshine State TESOL for making this possible. Can everybody hear me? Oh, wonderful. Wow. There you go. There's a man behind the curtain. See, when you were watching all that stuff, I thought it'd be better to see each other because I can see you. So the only way this would work is with these headphones. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, do you have any questions? Did I answer all the questions?
Chane, would you talk about the new rule about the new accommodations, the additional accommodations for ELF? They would like to know.
Oh, yes, I would love to talk about that.
Yes.
We have now a new rule that was approved by the state board. However, remember, there is a 30-day window before a rule becomes effective. Okay, so it's not there yet, but it has been approved by the board. Okay, so we have to wait to the end of May. But the additional accommodation is the use of a bilingual glossary. Isn't that great? If that's great, put your thumbs up to me. Isn't that great, everybody? Because it is in content areas. You know, glossaries often provide vocabulary in content areas, and sometimes our bilingual dictionaries simply don't provide it. Do you agree? They simply don't cover the content area of science, the content area of math, you know, the content area of social studies, content area even for a certain literature, English language arts. Okay? So that's that. However, remember, we're still waiting for that to become effective. It has been approved, but it's not effective yet. Okay.
The other rule chain that was approved, the Florida DOE on the exit criteria. Would you also talk about that?
Yes, absolutely. Another important change was about the proficiency level cut score for proficiency on our state test, which is Access for ELS 2.0. The change was to basically keep the number of exits approximately the same because Florida Department of Education believes that that is the best thing for our English language learners. WIDA went through a standard setting process last summer, and they newly defined proficiency levels. And so the rule that we had to amend was time-bound, and it was time-bound to last school year, which was a 5.0 composite and a 4.0 minimum in listening, speaking, reading, and writing. However, because of the newly defined scores, the scale basically went up. So students who scored at that level, it's predicted that if we had kept it the same, very few students would have been able to exit at all. Wisconsin, for example, has already been through this in their administration, and last year 25% of their L's exited, and this year 4% qualify for exit. That's to give you an example of the severe change. And the leadership did not think that that was the best thing for our students, and so there's been an adjustment. Again, it was approved by the board. However, remember, we're still waiting to make sure, you know, we always wait 30 days, not to make sure. It's the law. Every single rule is like that. 30 days, and then after 30 days, it will become effective. The new approved level is 4.0 composite and a 4.0 in reading. That would meet proficiency criteria for an English language learner just on the Access for ELS test. Now, just a reminder to everyone, that does not change. The grades 3 and above, students in grades 3 and above still have to score either meet graduation requirements or score on the FSA ELA 3 or above, right? That does not change that. So just keep that in mind. So the biggest impact would be the K through 2 band, okay? Okay, Arlene, I heard you had a question.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to help our participants here. So where could they find the link to this new rule?
Yes, you can. I recommend that you go to the board meeting from February. So everybody go to fldoe.org, then go to where it says board. I think it says board or board policy.
Correct.
And then then from there, go to the February board meeting. There are archived meetings. Click on meeting materials from that board meeting in February. Actually, you know what? It might be March. I'm so sorry. I don't have it open. If I'm just concerned, I could show you right now. Maybe I should do that. I can share. I've learned how to do this. Here, I'll share the screen and show you. Is that okay? You won't see me. Bye. I'm going to show you this. Okay.
No, I think it was April, Chane. It was April. It was April board meeting.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Here,
Shane,
1 second. I'm going to show you my screen. Here, let me show you that. It's so if you go.
When is it gonna be effective?
So right here, if you go to the State Board website, policy right there, State Board of Ed right here. Then if you click on meetings, okay, right here, go to archived meetings. And you said it was the March meeting. Let's see.
No, it's
April. It's the April meeting, right? April meeting. I was thinking February because the seal of biliteracy went in February. That's why, you guys, I said February. Look, so look here. Right here, you can see approval of amendment to rules relating to L's. You can click on that. And if you click on that, you will be able to see all that was approved by the board, okay? And there's more. There are 4 rules. I didn't talk about them today much because they're not effective yet. I'm only talking about it now because you asked me. But since they're not effective, I was not going to bring them up yet. However, that's fine. I'm happy to answer any questions I'm able to with you, okay?
Jay, when does the rule become effective? Is it May 26th?
I don't know the exact date on that, Gianna. It's Gianna, right? I
Yes,
think.
sorry.
Yes. I don't think that that's precise. I think when it comes, I'll be sending one of my big emails out, to everyone, okay?
But it's 30 days after it has been approved, Chane, correct?
Yes. However, 30 days doesn't always fall on everything precisely as we expect. So I don't know the exact date.
Yes.
Hi there, sir, Mr. Chane. I'm Mary Alice from Palm Beach County, and you had
Yes.
spoken about formative testing and how important it is. And I buy some of that. But I think a big gripe in Palm Beach County in the state of Florida is the amount of testing. And if you could just hear 2 concerns to take it to whomever, because I plan to, because
Okay.
I'm tired of everyone saying it, no one's doing anything. The amount of testing for our ELLs and our students is incredible. And all our interventionists, our reading, our LLIs, our SAIs, all our intervention people are being pulled to test. So we're being pulled to test for all grades. So that's not best practices because these kids need the interventions. They're not getting it with fidelity. And the other thing is our print-rich rooms and all the scaffolding we have for our ELLs is being taken down because every room looks like barren of anything for testing. And that goes on for months. And I don't know that politicians see this. And that's the bibiggest gripe for teachers. They can't teach.
It's a great point. Thank you for your concerns. Thank you. I do not disagree. I think
I don't know.
this has to change. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh no. What? Oh, okay. Oh, well,
Can't hear you.
Wait a minute. Let me try something.
Talk, Chane,
Okay,
talk.
can you hear me now?
Oh, Lord.
No? Can you not hear me?
It sounded like it was going to come in.
Hello, hello, hello. Are we there? How
Wow.
about now? Can you hear me now?
We can't
No?
hear you. Now the screen almost, we can't see you.
You lower the camera.
How about
Oh,
now?
is that what happened?
Yes.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
We can't
How about
hear you
now?
there.
No?
Nothing.
How about
No.
now? Can you hear me now?
No, we can't hear you. Nope.
Okay,
Nope.
sorry.
Hearing nothing.
Uh,
Now, yes, we can hear you
Oh,
now.
you can hear me now?
Yes, you're
Really?
good.
Okay, I'm gonna sit here. Thank you for your comments and your concerns. Thank you very much. What I would recommend is that you contact your legislators, because that is where this can change. Because remember, we are the state, as you know, and so we simply have to expedite. We are agents of the law. We don't get to choose those kinds of things. So, that's something you've got to really, and this needs a groundswell to change, because we're in a time, as you know, of testing. And so, and if you can, when you do that, I would recommend you provide a solution. Don't just simply say, oh, this is not good for that. I'm not saying what you said is not a good thing to say. What I'm saying is what people want and need in this situation is a solution to be offered for that. And that's what I would recommend to you. Okay?
Thought it was taking these portables that we still have in the county and putting them on the fields in the back and let that be the testing area, so they don't have to close down a school for testing. And it only affects the grades being tested at that time, and you don't have 5-year-olds having to be silent for 2 months. Because as we know, as ELL teachers, that's not healthy either. So we're seeing through all the scaffolding, and it's a shame what's going on. But I will, and I'll fight this fight till it changes.
So
Thank
all
you.
those solutions that you can think of, I'll see how I can, if you can give it to me, because we're going to meet with with our Congress when I go to the summit and policy conference, and I can submit those to the legislators, to the representative and the senators, and as well here.
You're
So
going in June to DC for that?
correct, yes,
Okay,
I
great.
am.
Thank you.
Yeah. Did you hear that, Chane?
I did. I
Okay.
heard. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your work. I sincerely appreciate all of you, and thank you for being in the session. Can you hear me?
There's one more question, Chane.
Okay, yes.
Hey, it's Kim from Hernando County.
Hey, Kim.
Wondered if we're going to have some guidance on that accommodation rule with the glossaries. What's going to be allowed with that? What can be included in the glossaries, or if there's restrictions on it, like with the dictionaries?
It would be the same as the restrictions. I can tell you right now, it will be exactly the same as the dictionaries.
Just the word to word.
Yep, word to word, okay?
So actually, it's a different format, actually, is what it is. It's not a different tool. It's just perhaps pages, a glossary
That is correct.
specific
Yes.
to subject areas.
Okay.
Yes.
Based on my experience, there's actually Velasquez Press here, exhibitor, who has published glossary of academic words in science, math, social studies, and we in our district have already purchased those, and I have distributed them to the specialists of the different content areas. So he is here.
But they're all words.
Word to word. Word to word. That's what
It's a dictionary. It's not a glossary.
Well, no, thesaurus is, it's different from the dictionary, actually. So anyway, it's not promoting someone, but that's the publication that I found that is very useful and that will comply with the accommodations.
Thank you.
I'm sorry?
Will Florida send out a list of those that are acceptable?
Actually, we do not send out or
They don't.
maintain any such lists.
Right. Yeah, but it's just based on the resources that districts find, correct, Jane, that are useful and that will comply with the rules and the description of the rule. But
That is correct. We advise, Arlene, we advise that you consult with your legal department
yeah,
to make sure. That's it. That's all we advise.
right, yeah, that meets the compliance of the rule, yeah. Yeah, thank you so much, Chane, and yeah, let's give him a big
Oh,
hug.
you guys are very sweet. Thank you.
And if you would, here are your
Hugs, hugs. I miss you. I miss you so much. Oh, I miss you so much. Good to see you.
Chane,
Say hi and bye too.
Oh, hey there. How are you?
your
Hi.
fans.
Yes, I'm very
Your
fortunate.
fans, Chane.
Thank you.
All right, we'll email you, and if you can send your PowerPoint, that would be great.
Yes, email me, and I will send it to you, Arlene, okay?
Okay, thank you so much. Bye. It's happy
Okay.
to glad
All
to be
right.
retired. Bye.
Okay, yes, good for you, Arlene. Bye-bye. James, thank you. Listen, I need to know, this is not recorded then, I guess?
This was not recorded.
Yes, it is.
It is?
I thought James might have
Okay,
still.
Yes, it
recorded
is. I'm going to stop this broadcast and I'll be able to send you the link.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank
good?
you. Yep. Bye-bye now.
All right. Good talking to you again.
Same here,
Maybe
James.
one of these years
Hey, have
you'll
a great
come
have a great keynote. I wish I could see your keynote,
In
but
Orlando, we'll get you back, right?
We will
yeah, you
in
should.
Orlando next year, Chane.
Well, I hope so. I
Yeah.
hope so, my friend. All
All
right.
right.
Thanks, Arlene. All right,
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Chane.